Welcome back to the show. Okay, I have a quick disclaimer to share before we continue. This segment's going to be fun. Former White House senior advisor David Axelrod, you remember him. He's cashing in after working for the president by doing exactly what people do when they stop working for the White House, writing a book, of course. So currently Mr. Axelrod is touring the country, talking with Americans about his time at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. And guess what? Like a proud father, he is extremely satisfied with the Obama administration's accomplishments, including maintaining the dignity of the office.
And I'm proud of the fact that basically you've had an administration that's been in place for 6 years in which there hasn't been a major scandal. And I think that says a lot about the ethical strictures, of this administration.
Wow, it was like the Daily Show audience was there like, yes, that's right, no scandals whatsoever. Come again, no scandals. I think that the former senior advisor is having a Brian Williams moment and is misremembering certain events, Mr. Axelrod, because we here at the Daily Wrap know you're watching this show right now because we're live. I think you might need a little refresher, and here's what many might consider a scandal.
In every country, there are those who find different religious beliefs threatening. And that is what we saw play out in the last 2 weeks. As a crude and disgusting video sparked outrage throughout the Muslim world. Now, I have made it clear that the United States government had nothing to do with this video. It is an insult not only to Muslims, but to America as well.
I also want to take a moment to address the video circulating on the internet that has led to these protests in a number of countries. The United States government had absolutely nothing to do with this video.
A lot of bling on the former secretaries. Amazing. Anyway, well, Benghazi, yeah, that was kind of a big one, we'll say. But wait, there's more.
I first learned about it from the same news reports that I think most people learned about this. I think it was on Friday. This is pretty straightforward. If, in fact, IRS personnel engaged in the kind of practices that have been reported on and were intentionally targeting conservative groups, then that's outrageous. They have to be held fully accountable.
Oh, those tricksters at the IRS. But wait, I seem to remember something about a big party the Secret Service had in Colombia with, well, we'll call them female entrepreneurs.
Revelations tonight about that Secret Service scandal, the men trusted with guarding the president, hiring prostitutes in other countries.
Agents were preparing for the arrival of President Obama in Colombia. Some brought prostitutes back to their hotel.
And new charges this morning of a cover-up in a Secret Service scandal, the Colombia prostitution debacle in 2012. The Washington Post says the Obama administration knew of allegations that a White House volunteer brought a prostitute to his hotel room on that trip.
The lead investigator into the 2012 Secret Service hooker scandal is resigning after being caught, drumroll, with a hooker.
Mark Lamont Hill, good guy. Anyway, that was just a small sample of White House scandals, and who could forget Cash for Clunkers, the VA scandal, Fast and Furious, and last but certainly not least, Obamacare architect Jonathan Gruber saying the Affordable Care Act wouldn't be affordable, among many other things. Those were some doozies. So Heather Hansen, does Mr. Axelrod suffer from the same condition as Mr. Brian Williams?
I think they just use different vocabulary in the White House. So scandal isn't a scandal, and religion isn't religion, and this is not a war, according to Holder. And I think ultimately they're trying to step away from what the reality is. I don't think that he's misremembering it. I think he's choosing to control the message, and I think that's consistent with what this administration likes to do.
Rick Unger, a whole new kind of Ebonics.
Look, Axelrod was clearly asking for it in making that broad of a statement. Yeah, there have been some scandals. What I find fascinating in some of the choices we made is that one person's scandal is another person's policy decision. So I think you have to be careful. What amazes me is the one thing we didn't show is what I think was the greatest scandal, aside from the Secret Service, and that was, if you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor. That was an outright lie. That's a scandal. That's a scandal. And yet we're also focused on Benghazi, which when people, if they ever find out the truth, you won't think it was such a scandal. But that's another story.
So
for another day.
Just to hold you to that for a second.
Yeah.
Was it more ineptitude with Benghazi, but not,
No.
but
I mean-
as opposed to a cover-up, in your opinion?
No, it was neither. There were things going on in Benghazi that we're not supposed to know about. Not at the
Black
at
ops
the
sort of
embassy, absolutely, but at the annex, that they couldn't sit there and tell you what was happening, and Americans should have been able to figure that out on their own. There are books coming. I'm well aware of. I know the story, and it was not a scandal. It was turned into one.
Jenny, I know books are coming, but I have a feeling this won't be in yours, which will be coming out very soon, by the way. Thanks for the book party invite.
You know, look, every administration does this. I don't know why we're surprised. I mean, think about Reagan and the Iran-Contra scandal. Think about Bush standing on an aircraft carrier saying, "Mission accomplished."
He didn't say it, there was a banner.
After
And that
sending...
wasn't a scandal anyhow.
After what
just
was
a
a scandal
mistake.
was sending troops into Iraq on false intelligence. This happens in every administration. No advisor is going to admit to it.
But I mean, the denial is the thing that's a problem. And the thing that amazes me is that the people in the audience clapped. So obviously they agree
Well,
that
first-
this was
first
a
some
scandal.
laughed at him. First some laughed at him,
Quiet
and then-
little titters.
Yeah, and
some-
then they came back and
Right.
clapped to support it. But it is interesting how we interpret scandals. You know, Jenny's point, I obviously hate what the Bush administration did with Iraq, but I wouldn't call it a scandal, actually. It's very bad policy. I don't think that they were honest, but
was
it
a very
doesn't,
bad decision.
to me, it doesn't feel like a scandal.
And we're
And
still
the
paying the price
vocabulary.
today for it.
Oh, I'm with you on that. No disagreement, but is that a scandal?
I guess we'd have to ask Axelrod what his definition is
Yeah.
of the word scandal
Maybe we
and
should ask
war and
Olivia
religion.
Pope.
Or your definition of the word is, right? I
Right.
mean, there's plenty of places
now
you could go
now
with
you're
that.
getting into very
Yeah.
clear,
It's
Or the
non-subjective
definition of
standards.
sex.
There's a scandal.
But Rick,
Sex.
the liberal argument is, at least with the IRS, that no one was arrested, there haven't been any convictions, Lois Lerner's on a beach somewhere earning 20%. So they say, well, hearings were held and nothing turned up.
That's not a rationale because maybe there should be arrests. So you can't explain it away that way. Look, you know, if the White House was not involved with the IRS situation, then you have to say it was an IRS scandal, which ultimately is administration
It's still
scandal.
an administration
But it would be putting our heads in the sand to pretend that makes it a White House scandal.
Heather, quickly, what scandal do you think the White House will be remembered for most when it's all said and done?
This White House? It's hard to say. Fast and Furious is important for me. I think
is.
that, yeah, I think that the way Holder handled that, the way that he has handled a lot of these issues, is gonna.
Jenny, one word answer.
The worst scandal
Yeah.
of this administration, I don't think there's been a worst one. I think there's been a lot worse in the past.
And on that note, we leave it. Coming up next on the Daily Wrap, we're going to discuss the latest on the President Obama's immigration amnesty. Stay tuned.